What's going on, boys? I got the college football picks for you for Saturday, November 22nd. With this four-man I'm about to give you guys, you could turn $20 into over $220. But of course, before we get into that, if you boys could please drop a like and subscribe, that would help me out a ton. Any kind of interaction I get from you guys helps me out a whole lot. So if you could please do that before we get into these picks, I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, I do have the parlay play and chalkboard maps up for you guys. This is very, very simple. If you guys live in any of the yellow states over here on this parlay play map, you can absolutely bet on parlay play. Same thing goes for the chalkboard map right here. If you guys live in any of these green states, chalkboard will absolutely work for you. As far as what you guys get for signing up with these apps, chalkboard, if you guys want to go download the chalkboard app, throw in that code SBL when you're signing up, you guys are going to get a 100% deposit match up to $100, as well as one exclusive free pick over on Parlay Play. If you guys go download the Parlay Play app, throw in that code SBL when you're signing up, you guys are going to get a 100% deposit match up to $100 over here as well, as along with a $5 free game ad sign up. That $5 free game does not require a deposit at all. You get it no matter what you put in. So obviously very good deals on both. Yes, they both do have that deposit match up to $100, which means if you guys sign up for both these apps right now with code SBL, you can make $200 in less than 5 minutes. It'd take you guys like 3-4 minutes. You guys can make $200. It's a very, very good deal. Super easy way to make money. But those deposit matches do not have to be right when you sign up. Of course, it's just for your first deposit. So that's why I really like the deal over on Parlay Play. With that $5 free game, you guys can test it out. If you like it, cool. You still get your deposit match. If not, totally fine. But obviously, very good deals on both apps. Again, $200 if you guys sign up for both the apps. That is a lot of money for very little work. Super, super awesome deal there. Absolutely love that. But if you guys sign up for either of these apps using code SBL and deposit at least $20 during your sign up, I will give each one of you guys that does that 1 month of free VIP. We have been doing very, very good on VIP. Went up another unit yesterday. We are going crazy in VIP lately. So if you guys want to hop in VIP, you guys want to sign up for these apps anyways, make sure you deposit at least $20 during your sign up and then shoot me a quick email. My email is down in the description, along with the links for both chalkboard and parlay play. So just do that. Shoot me a quick email. I'll get you guys that 1 month of free VIP as soon as I see it. But I did want to say one more thing before we get into these picks. This is a screenshot from Parlay Play. This is how they do their payout boost for anything more than a two-man. It is so sick. I've never seen another app do this. These boosts can make you so much extra money. Obviously, an extra 5% boost for every pick that you put in that's over a two-man. So three-man is 5%, four-man's 10%. You guys get the gist of it. It's just a very, very easy way to make a ton of money. But with that being said, we're going to jump over to Prizepicks, get into these college football Saturday picks. Not as many good games as we've gotten in the last few weeks. Obviously, we've had some very, very good games the last few weeks, but there are some really good ones. I will say before we get into the actual picks, I did post just a few days ago. I posted a video going over some score and spread predictions, just what I think is going to happen in some of the better games this week. I did 6 games. So if you guys are more into like betting on spreads and stuff like that, definitely go check out that video. I'm gonna try and link it to this video. I'll do my best to do that. I'm not really sure how to do it, so I'll figure it out. But if you guys did want to see that, even if you guys aren't really into betting, you just want to see what people think about scores and stuff, definitely go check that video out. I had a ton of fun filming that, so if you guys like that video, definitely let me know. But our first pick is going to be Jordan Hudson. We're taking him over 76.5 receiving yards. He has been doing very, very, very good for this SMU team, getting a ton of targets, getting a ton of long catches for SMU, which they're going to need it against Louisville. Louisville is a very, very talented team. Obviously, Miller Moss is questionable for tomorrow, which kind of sucks for them. But if he plays, SMU is in a world of trouble. SMU gives up a ton of passing yards, and Miller Moss throws a ton of passing yards. So that is not a good mix if Miller Moss does play, which of course is going to force SMU to pass the ball a ton, which I think they're really going to do anyway. Louisville's defense is just really good on passing and rushing. Their rushing defense is a little bit better than their passing defense, so kind of not great situation for SMU either way, but it's going to force them to pass a lot, which is very, very nice for us, which is very nice for Jordan Hudson. Yes, Louisville does have a good passing defense, but Jordan Hudson is a very skilled wide receiver, and even against good defenses, there's always times where receivers will have to go crazy for their team to win, and this is one of those times. Jordan Hudson's going to have a good game, and in such a tough game like they have this week, Kevin Jennings is going to lead or lean more so on his main guy in Jordan Hudson. Obviously, he's been putting up insane numbers. That Wake Forest game, that one I'm not even really looking at, because if you guys go look at the box score for that game, it was like the weirdest game ever. Neither quarterback threw like any yards. It ended 12-13. That was just a horrible game for both sides, but he's been putting up really good numbers against really good teams. Obviously, Miami has a very good passing defense. He had 136 against them. So he's been putting up, again, really good numbers. So I think that 77 yards will be pretty easy for him to get, especially in such a big game that they really need to win. If they win that one, they're looking really good for possibly going back to the ACC championship. So big game for them. But our second pick is going to be Emmett Johnson, over 90.5 rushing yards against Penn State. Penn State's rushing defense has not been good at all this entire season. They have been looking very, very, very rough. They are, I want to say, in the 90s as far as where they're ranked for their rushing defense. Very bad rushing defense, but Emmett Johnson has been absolutely tearing things up, especially since Dylan Raiola went down with that injury. He went down in this USC game. Emmett Johnson ended that game with 29 carries, and then just the very next week against UCLA, he had, I want to say it was 28 carries in this game, 27, 28. He's in the high 20s for carries both games that he's played without Dylan Raiola. Obviously, Penn State's defense is good, but their rushing defense is not good at all. They're going to hand this ball off at least 25 plus times to Emmett Johnson, and he should absolutely get to 90.5. He averages 5.6 yards per carry on the season, averages over 110 rushing yards per game this season, so he should absolutely get to 91 against this week of a rushing defense. It should not be a problem for him whatsoever. Especially with how many carries he should get. There's really like no problem. If he gets anywhere near the amount of carries he's got in the last two games, he doesn't even have to average 5 yards per carry. He could average like 3.2 yards per carry, and he should still absolutely get to this number. So 90.5 for Emmett Johnson. Love the over for that. Our third pick I'm going to get into is going to be DeShawn Bishop. We're taking him over 61.5 rushing yards. I really like this line as well. They have been giving DeShawn Bishop a lot more looks than they typically would. Obviously, if you guys remember back to the beginning of the season, him and Star Thomas were splitting pretty much 50-50 right down the middle. There were some games Star Thomas would get more carries than Bishop, but at this point in the season, they're giving Bishop a large portion of the carries. Yes, they're still splitting somewhat, but DeShawn Bishop is far and away getting the most carries on this team every single game, week in, week out. So that's very, very good. Sorry, very good for us as the bettors to see that, especially against such a weak Florida rushing defense. They allow 140 rushing yards a game, and if Bishop's getting the majority of those rushing yards, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't get to 62. That's not even half of what Florida gives up on average. So I think that 61.5 should be very, very easy for him to get to. Again, this dude is insanely quick, insanely tough. He breaks a ton of long runs, so 61.5 should be very, very easy for him. Yes, he's had a couple down weeks here and there, but Kentucky's rushing defense is legit. Oklahoma's rushing defense, obviously one of the better defenses in the country as far as rushing defenses go. So really like both of those. Or I just really like how all these look. Honestly, yes, he's going to go a little bit under against very, very good rushing defenses, but that is not what Florida is. Florida does not have a good rushing defense at all, so I really like where that line's at right there. And then our fourth and final pick is going to be Jeff Sims. This one is a curveball, but I really do like how this looks. This one, in my mind, is just a no-brainer, absolute lock. Obviously, their starter's out. Sam Levitt is out. He's not playing for the third week in a row. He's been out for the last 2 weeks. As I just said, Jeff Sims has been taking over, carrying the ball a lot. I want to say in this game, he had like 29 carries. And then this game, I want to say it was like 21, 22, somewhere around that number right there. But he's been in the 20s both games, and obviously 228, ridiculous number there. But the big thing we're looking at here is the fact he's playing Colorado. Colorado has far and away literally the worst rushing defense in the entire nation, not even close, especially as far as Power 4 goes. Worst rushing defense in the nation by a long shot. They suck at defending the run. Jeff Sims, obviously, huge runner, apparently. Don't know where this dude got legs like that, but very good running quarterback, apparently. And every single rushing quarterback that Colorado's played this year has gone absolutely crazy. Obviously, week one, Haynes King had like 160 against him. Bear Bachmeyer had 100. Connor Weigman had, I want to say it was 83, which still gets over this line. And then there was another quarterback. I cannot remember. It was one of Utah's guys, but he had like 150. So every rushing quarterback they've played has flown over this. Obviously, Weigman had 83. That's not a crazy amount over that. But the three very good rushing quarterbacks that they've played have gone over 100 yards. Jeff Sims obviously is out here solidifying himself as a very good rushing quarterback out of absolutely nowhere. So I think that 77 rushing yards for him against, again, one of the, or not even one of, the absolute worst rushing defense in the entire nation should be very, very easy for him to get. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get there. But with that being said, those are the 4 picks I've got for you guys. Obviously, just to go over them really quickly. Jordan Hudson, more than 76.5 receiving yards. This is going to be a shootout the entire game. They're going to be throwing it back and forth, both sides of the ball. Louisville, SMU, they're both going to be throwing a lot. Both of these defenses are strong. I will say SMU's passing defense is not strong, which can leave the door wide open for Louisville, which would force SMU to pass. So I really like that. And then Emmett Johnson, more than 90.5 rushing yards. As Penn State rushing defense has been absolutely horrible this entire year. Emmett Johnson averages over 110 rushing yards per game on the season. And of course, he's had 29 and 28 carries in the absence of Dylan Raiola. And then DeShawn Bishop, more than 61.5 rushing yards. Again, same kind of situation. Florida's rushing defense has absolutely sucked. He's been getting more and more carries every single week this entire season, so I really like that for him. And then, as I was just saying, Jeff Sims, more than 76.5 rushing yards. He's playing the worst rushing defense in the entire nation. And every rushing quarterback that Colorado has played has gone over this, 3 of which have gone over 100. So really like that. Obviously, over here, 20 turns into 200 on Prizepicks. I say this a lot. When I can show you guys this at the end of my videos, I always do. Obviously, you guys see that percentage boost up here. We are on Parlay Play right now. You guys see that percentage boost. That adds so much, obviously turning this from a 10.3x to 11.3x, so giving us just a whole lot more money, at least another $20. In this case, another $27 to throw on top of that 200 that we would be making over there on Prizepicks. Obviously, this is just giving us way more bang for our buck. All of these lines are the exact same: 76.5 for Hudson, 90.5 for Emmett Johnson, 61.5 for Bishop, and 76.5 for Jeff Sims. All the lines the exact same. What we're putting in the exact same, and you guys are getting an extra $27 out of it for literally just putting it in a different app. There's no reason not to, obviously, especially with all the other things that you guys get for signing up with Parlay Play. But that's really all I've got for you guys today. Again, if you guys did not see my score prediction video that I posted for this Saturday just a couple days ago, I would really recommend you guys go check that out. Even if you guys aren't really into betting on spreads and stuff, I had a ton of fun filming that. So if you guys are just interested in football at all, I would definitely make sure to go check that out. I go over a ton of stats, all that good stuff. But again, with that being said, that's really all I've got for you guys today. So I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.